You're listening to The Breakfast Show with Ben and Liam. They're on your radio, and that's why you can't see them. So stay for a while, they're gonna make you smile. And whatever you do, don't touch that dial. You're feeling fine, waking up to the sunshine with Ben and Liam.
G'day there, podcaster.
It's the Recap All Around Australia podcast. Ooh, yeah. This is... Yeah, I don't know who this one's for, really. This is just...
It's for the people on Sunday who hear the show
and go, yeah,
nationally.
you want to hear that again?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, enjoy it.
We are doing Radio Google. Ask a question. What don't you get?
Yep, done it twice, and now we've made an intro for it, so it's here to stay, I reckon. What don't you get? 13 24 10. Ben and I will act as Radio Google and do our best to answer your question.
Yeah, you know when sometimes you just wonder out loud and you go, hey, why does this do that? And you put it into Google. Well, don't worry about Google. We're better than Google. 13 24 10. That is the number. Give us a buzz if you have a question. This is a few examples of previous Radio Google questions.
Why are things called what they're called? So, why is a tree a tree?
Yeah, and why is a shoe a shoe?
I don't get where Christmas beetles go for the rest of the year.
I don't get how petrol makes the car work.
Yeah, hi Ben and Liam. I want to know why clouds float.
We do have a 100% success rate at explaining the answers to all those questions.
Never missed. Karen, what don't you get?
Hi, yeah. Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle?
Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle? That's a great question, Karen, and that would be because it hasn't been exposed to the air yet. So once it's exposed to air, that would cause the chemical reaction and that would make it stick to what it's sticking to.
Oh, that's nice to know.
It is nice to know, isn't it?
It's nice to know. Now you know. Danny, what don't you get?
Hey, Ben and Liam. I just don't get dry cleaning. I don't know how they do it. I don't understand how it cleans the clothes. I don't know what they do.
I think it's like it's basically the same concept, but they're just using chemicals instead of like water or detergent. So it's like it has the same reaction on the clothes when they sort of spray it on. But
it is strange though, isn't it? Because if there's like a stain on a jacket,
yeah,
how do they get that out?
Yeah, because it's
dry.
like, but it's like still imagine you've got the soap and to get rid of it and the heat and your clothes are getting like a little bit wet, but the chemical, the solvent that they use like evaporates really quickly, so then it's just quicker than water. So instead of like getting the whole thing like soaked, I'm pretty sure it's just like sort of like it's doing the same thing, but you're taking the water element out of it basically.
There you go. That was a very good answer.
Star joins us now. Star, what don't you get?
Hi Ben and Liam. So my question is, how does toothpaste come out stripy and not mixed up?
That's a great
so
question.
like once it's in there, why doesn't it all just become multicoloured? Yeah.
I'll do my best to explain this to you, Star. So when you squeeze the tube and the paste comes out the top, the different coloured bits are all the exact same consistency. So what that means is that they react to the pressure in the exact same way. So they're all going to come out the same way that they went in. Then when you release the pressure, because they're the same consistency, they go back in together as well. But I've never really thought about it.
So that's the thing, I suppose, because if the green's like different to the, if it's a bit weaker,
then when you squeeze it, it'll
white, then it will just
mix together.
Yeah,
but because it's exactly the same, it doesn't mix.
There you go. That is really cool.
It is really cool.
Star. It is cool, isn't it?
Next time when you brush your teeth tonight, maybe you only do it once a day. I don't know. You just think of us. Big federal election coming up, and the campaign trail kicked off for ScoMo over the weekend, and he's off to a flyer. I don't know if you saw the footage of him doing some welding. Not sure if it was MIG or TIG.
And I'm very excited for this campaign trail because I feel like we're going to get lots to talk about.
So much. If you've not seen it, he's looking cool. He's there. He's around all the other guys.
I wouldn't say he's looking cool.
He's got his mask on, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what you need when you're welding. It gets very bright, very hot, and you don't want to be blinded. I'm pretty sure everyone did that. Like, we did metalwork in year 9 at my school.
So did we.
And, that's kind of the first thing they teach you. Just keep the helmet on.
Yep.
And he's trying to get a little bit of a better look at it. So just as he fires it off, he just like really squints, lifts his helmet up, and gets his face nice and close to the hot welder.
And I love how everyone behind him will scramble.
They go, no, that's not the one thing you don't do. That's the one thing you do not do.
This is a little bit of the audio from the moment. Have a listen.
On the tools once again. You said yeah?
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Oh, yeah.
He's blue collar, baby, just like us. The working class man.
Has the moxie on him to say on the tools again.
Yeah.
If he's on them all the time.
Oh, back at it. Here we go. Why don't we do this 13, 24, 10? Dumbest thing you've ever seen on the work site. You hear stories all the time. My friend was telling me a story about how he had this new apprentice rock up and he had like a paint mixing machine with a brand new switchboard and he said, mate, can you plug that in and mix a paint for us? And so he went away. 5 minutes later, he came back. The apprentice had plugged the switchboard into itself and was using that as a sort of big stick to mix the paint in the paint mixer. He said, I think that'll do you, mate. I think you can go home now. I don't think you're cut out for this.
That is absolutely wild.
Dumbest thing you've seen on a work site. Maybe it was an apprentice. Maybe it was you when you were starting out. 13 24 10 is the number. If you call up, you are in the draw to win $50,000. Tom, what did you see?
Yeah, so I'm a removalist, yeah?
Yeah.
And I was carrying up a wardrobe up into the truck with my offsider. And about halfway up, he misplaced one of his legs and he come off the ramp, but he didn't let go of the wardrobe. And the wardrobe landed on top of him. It was only a light one, so he didn't get injured, but he wanted to protect the wardrobe.
You know what, though? That's what I want in my removalist.
That's a show of dedication.
That's what I want. I want the body on the line, you know what I'm saying? Like, just that sort of hustle. That's
for
the
that.
stuff you can't buy.
Thanks, Tom. Steve, what's the dumbest thing you've seen happen on the work site?
I used to work in a boiler making factory when I was younger, and at smoko time, the welders had these big metal benches, and it was all done with stick welding. And they used to turn the voltage down on the welder and stick the electrode to the bottom of the bench, and then turn the voltage back up. So when you came along and touched the bench, you'd actually get electrocuted.
It's a bit of fun.
That's just like a worksite prank.
That was a smoko prank, yeah.
Exactly.
Just electrocute some of your colleagues, yeah.
That's it. That's the end of the story.
That's it. I suppose it's pretty dumb, yeah. Chris, dumbest thing you've seen on the worksite?
Yeah, so I'm a Sparky, and a while ago, sent the apprentice up into the roof to fix some cables, get some lights ready, and I assumed it was common sense that you stand on the timbers up in the roof. And then we got the homeowner in the lounge room, and all of a sudden we hear this big bang, and I head to the lounge room and I see these apprentices' legs hanging from the ceiling. So he stood on the plaster and his legs just gone straight through the ceiling.
That's unreal. Did you give his feet a little tickle?
Thanks for that, Chris.
Ben, our new producer Andy, very smart guy, worldly guy, I would say. He wears glasses. He is eating a child's food every single day.
Yeah.
Like we come in and we do our jobs, and we normally eat sort of after the show, and normally, we're trying to eat healthier at the moment, so whatever it is.
Yeah, but he's different. At first I thought he was mucking around.
I thought it was a bit of a joke.
But there's definitely a giant elephant in the room.
Yeah, Andy, can we get you on the microphone over here? We're talking about the cereal Crispix.
Which is such a niche cereal, Andy.
First of all, where do you get Crispix?
Coles.
Oh,
Coles.
Right.
I think you get from like a specialty kind of American wheat
But
bix
yeah, and
store.
what is? I mean, it's like a sugary. It's like a child's cereal.
I think the official term is a lattice.
A lattice,
Like
right. A puffed lattice.
Yeah, covered in honey and sugar.
Yeah, and you have a certain affinity for the honey flavour. When did your love of the Crispix start?
I've always been a big cereal guy.
I find it
weird.
So, you're a grown-ass man. I find it funny when adults have cereal. Like maybe Wheat Bix is cool, but I don't know. I don't know, the sugary honey ones, it just doesn't. Why don't we do this? Are you an adult who eats kids' food?
Yep.
Are you eating fairy bread on the job site?
13 24 10, that is the number.
And you know what? You're going to go in the draw to win $50,000, which is being given away today on Nova.
Bianca, you're also a Crispix fan.
Yes, I am. I eat them religiously. Delicious.
Really?
You eat them dry as well, like out of your hand?
Actually, if I'm snackish, I will go get some and eat it dry.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. I've caught him doing that before. Sometimes I walk in the room and I smell like artificial honey. You know what I mean?
Andy's got a certain love of the honey flavour. I think he would take that above all else. What about you? Is honey your favourite flavour?
Honey goes good with everything. Oh, not everything, but any cereal, I reckon.
Yeah.
You can put it on that. It goes good.
Oh, Grace, you're an adult who eats kids' food?
Weekly, probably have fairy bread after work as my after work snack.
You have fairy bread at work?
Yeah, after work. I don't do it exactly at work.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you have to make that with like getting a bit of butter on the bread and then the sprinkles.
Yeah, and you got to get the special round sprinkles. You can't have the long ones.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mum gave them to me as my housewarming present when I bought my house last year.
A pretty cheap present.
I wouldn't mind
just a box of hundreds and thousands.
I wouldn't mind some fairy bread actually. Like,
I must admit, I'm kind of salivating thinking about it, but it's not a staple of the week, is it?
On the text line as well, Sean said, "I drink the apple and blackcurrant pop tops. Get them weekly from the supermarket."
I'd love to see a grown man in a suit just walking past drinking a pop top. 13 24 10. Did your kid repeat something that they shouldn't have? I was at a barbecue with some friends over the weekend, Ben, and one of the couples had a little boy there, and he was really fascinated by another mutual friend at the barbecue, and he was sort of just like staring at this lady for ages. Like, it was really obvious. Like, he was staring like there was like something on her face, and he was looking kind of confused, and eventually she ended up saying, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And the little boy just rolled out with, "Mummy said you have two faces, but I can only see one."
Oh.
Obviously, Mum and Dad were maybe having a bit of a bitch in front of the kids.
Yeah.
They said she's two-faced. It's all come out. That's the end of that friendship.
Yeah.
It's just awkward after that.
It is, isn't it?
So awkward.
It's because kids, they just repeat stuff.
Well, that's, it happens, because kids are sponges, and sometimes conversations aren't as private as you think. Like, maybe they're just sitting, you think they're watching TV, but they're listening to what you're saying. And they're just like taking all of that in. And maybe that information's going to come out at some point. Like, obviously it's pretty innocent. This kid actually just thought the lady had two faces, was trying to find the other one.
Turns out Mum has two faces as well.
Yeah, well, it's as it seems. Did your kid repeat something they shouldn't have? 13 24 10. Did it roll out at school? Maybe in front of a friend and they heard something that they weren't supposed to. What happened? If you get in touch, you'll be in the draw to score $50,000.
Yep, and because it is 2222 day, you get two chances to go in the draw, so double the chance of winning that 50 grand. 13 24 10. Did your kid repeat something that they shouldn't have?
Frank, what happened, mate? Did the kid repeat something they shouldn't have?
Well, it was actually me when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
There was a family friend of my mum's coming over, and all the aunties and uncles used to call her Fat Duck. So she was coming over one day, and when she got to the door, apparently I ran to the door and screamed out, "Mum, Fat Duck's here!" So it was a little bit embarrassing for my mum, I think.
What? I've never heard that. Where did that come from, young Frank?
Fat Duck?
That is so rude. I don't know where these kids come up with this stuff. Come in, Fat Duck, I mean Jan. Mel, did your kid repeat something they shouldn't have?
Yes, she did.
What was it?
We turned up at a preschool day, a fair, and she was a really friendly kid. She was 4. She went up and introduced herself to someone and said, "Hi, I'm Rachel. This is my sister and my mum. Mum wanted another baby, but Daddy said no." And then I had to then walk forward and say, "Hi, I'm Mel. How are you? Never met a woman before in my life."
Yeah, they're little sponges, aren't they? Just little sponges.
Last one, Jody. What did the kid roll out with?
Growing up, my nan had a neighbour and her surname was Sandercock, and we used to call her Mrs. Gritty Doodle. Obviously never to her face, but one day my cousin's like going, "Hello, Mrs. Gritty Doodle."
Gritty Doodle.
Yeah.
That's very funny. That's good. We are also joined now by the Love Rats.
Love rat, Bill's a love rat. Love rat, Bill's a love rat.
Oh, Producer Bell, I'll tell you what. We got a juicy email to loverate@novefm.com.au. Anonymous in Anonymous. They don't even want to reveal their suburb. It's that anonymous.
That's fair.
And I can see why. It says, "Hi, Love Rap. I found myself in a bit of a situation. I've been seeing this guy for a few months now, and things have been really progressing. I recently met his family, and this is where it gets interesting. Turns out a few years ago, before we knew each other, I had a Tinder hookup with his younger brother.
Oh, that'd be awkward.
Was just wondering if I should tell my partner, and if so, how should I go about it? Thanks for your help."
Oh gosh! So she's met the family and she's realised she's seen the brother and thought, "Oh, no,
dear.
I recognise
And the brother
you."
would know as well, of course.
Well, so that's what my brain straight away goes to. Okay, well, if she doesn't tell him, surely the brother's.
You
got to
get ahead of the story,
exactly.
right?
You've got to be the good guy in this and say, "Hey, I'm just going to come forward with it."
I'm in the other camp. I reckon you just don't tell them.
What?
Well, they don't know doesn't hurt them.
No.
'Cause that's going to immediately cause
It's gonna
drama.
come
Dare I
If
say
you're
it?
that guy and you're like, oh, you've also been with my brother. That's just weird.
Yeah, but what if they get married and then it comes out after they've had 2 kids and they find out and then it's ruined rather than just, being
then she's
out
pregnant.
with
That's
them
when
at
you
the
go,
start.
I didn't recognise them. I didn't know it was them.
I've
Go
slept
into
with
damage control.
simply so many people before you.
This is-
It means nothing to me.
That's a real insight.
I would say to Anonymous and Anonymous, like, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I think you've already missed the boat. Like, if you didn't say after that first interaction, hey, there's something I need to tell you, do you know what I mean?
yes.
It's already weird now. Like, it's already...
Well, no matter
Yeah.
what, it's going to be weird.
but it would be better to just be like, hey, I need to be honest with you. I realised something yesterday. I just want to come out clean.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this? 13, 24, 10. Do you have a secret
Yeah.
that you're keeping from your partner? Okay.
What they don't know doesn't hurt them.
No, Ben.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Do you have a secret that you're keeping from your partner? 13 24 10 is the number. We've actually got a call from Rachel, who's in a similar predicament, or has been in one. Rach, what happened?
Oh, okay. So I've been with my husband for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And at the start of the relationship, everything was good. Our families had been friends for years and years. And about 5 years into the relationship, he admitted to me that he had previously slept with my sister. It was before we got together.
Yeah.
And I feel like they should have come clean straight away.
Yeah.
And not left
'Cause
it.
your 5
Like, come
years is
clean
deep,
right at
isn't
the
it?
start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the other thing as well, because it's like I kind of didn't even think of that from that perspective, but it's like that double thing, isn't it? Because it's not only your husband, it's your sister as well.
None
so
of
like
them told you.
two of the closest people to you.
So how did they tell you, Rachel? Did they both sit you down? Did it just come out?
No, so my husband sat me down. Well, it was my boyfriend at the time, obviously. And he sat me down and said, look, I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
And just told me. And obviously I was mad to begin with.
Yeah.
Because more of the fact that you didn't tell me. So I think this Anonymous, just get out, tell him.
Just do it.
Well, there we
Get
go.
it out.
We've got an
And
actual
Rach,
answer.
do you think, like, in all honesty, like, you're married now, do you think if you knew that at the start, would that have tainted things, or do you think, you'd appreciate the honesty and you just sort of continued on with the relationship?
Oh, look, it would have been hard to get over, but I would have stuck it out because I did stick it out even though they kept it from me for a bit. So
That's
it just,
true.
the respect of being honest, pretty much. Just get out and tell them.
Liam, my neck has been killing me now for
What about
almost
your back and
a
your,
week.
and your crack?
No, they're both fine. Just my neck, like really bad. And over the weekend, I didn't even drive because honestly, I couldn't check my blind spots. Like I couldn't look left.
Well, I often find if you just veer, you'll get a tooth if you're in the wrong.
Kind of like sonar when you're a bat. Like,
you'll-
audio will let you know.
You'll hear it.
Yeah. No, so I didn't even drive my car. That's how bad this
Really?
neck injury was. And the worst part was I didn't know what caused it. I was like, why is my neck so sore? I just woke up one morning and it was killing me.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. I realized why it was so sore. So I went to a show on Friday night. And at that show, so there's like the main stage, but then there's like a catwalk and it comes out into the middle of the audience.
Yes.
And so we thought, most of the action will be out there in the middle part. So we kind of sat side of stage. But they only did like 2 things out there. So a lot of it was on the main part.
The catwalk.
Which meant the whole time I was looking left. So the whole reason I put my neck out is because I was looking left for an hour.
You're getting old there.
I looked left for too long and it put my neck out for a week.
Couldn't drive anymore. Tossing up taking time off of work.
When you're a kid, you can look left for as long as you want.
You can jump off a trampoline and land on your neck and it'll still be fine.
And you're totally fine. You're like rubber. We've done this before, but I want to do it again. Serious injury, but silly reason, okay? 13 24 10. Give us a buzz.
Amy, serious injury, silly reason. What happened?
So my sister's engagement party when I was only 13 years old, we were dancing. This is, pre-COVID, obviously. and I dislocated my knee doing the Macarena.
which is a pretty simple, like, rudimentary type of dance, really, the Macarena.
Yep, I ended up in hospital on some very serious painkillers, and I have no memory of it to this day.
Well, you blacked out.
Yeah, big time.
And Macarena. Ali joins us. Serious injury, silly reason. What happened?
Howdy, guys. Well, for fun, I decided to slide down a pole and ripped open the inside of my thigh, just missing an artery.
Oh, no! Artery, that's not good. Oh, dear.
Turned out it was an old flagpole, so oops, my mistake.
Oh, because it had the little thing that you put the rope
the butterfly
on.
hook.
You could have literally died from that,
That's like
Ali.
your main artery in your leg.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and what it was great because I actually got stuck on it too. So the guy decided he was going to try and yank me down, and as he was yanking me down, he just kept ripping it even further. So
You got fish hooked by a flagpole.
Oh, my God.
That is
Femoral artery.
horrific, Ali. Thank you very much for sharing.
And the perfect call for that, because that is a very
So
serious
good.
injury, very silly reason.
It's a debate, a big debate. Who will win medallion?
In light of this petrol situation, the topic is electric cars are the way of the future. Ben, you're saying, yeah.
Yep.
I'm saying, nah, no way. I don't believe in it.
Rev head till you die.
Hell yeah, man. We're both going to argue our point. We'll have 30 seconds each. Did you want to start first, or do you want to go second?
Yeah,
Or?
I'll go first.
No, why not?
All right. So I'm saying electric cars are the way of the future. Liam, do you know who Nicholas Otto is?
Nah.
Exactly, because he's the guy that invented the petrol engine. No one knows who he is. Do you know who Elon Musk is? Of course you do. He's the man who invented electricity and cars, and he's discovered Mars, so it's a pretty big deal. It's 2022. Let's get with the times, because the future is here. We don't need fossil fuels anymore. It's all about electricity. It makes everything better. Toothbrushes, scooters, and cars. I don't know about you, but I don't think there's anything cooler than seeing a middle-aged dad in cargo shorts getting out of his Nissan E-Leaf and sliding that charger into the connection port.
Yeah, I don't think Elon discovered electricity or Mars, but I mean,
I might have taken a few liberties.
bar that, pretty strong debate. Pretty strong. Not as strong as this, though. Electric cars are lame, man. Imagine losing the V8 supercars and having the 9-volt subpar cars. It wouldn't be right. The Fast and Furious franchise wouldn't be called Stat anymore. It'd be Slow and Placid, starring Michael Cera instead of Vin Diesel. This is the sound of an engine, right? Now, this is the sound of an electric engine. Can you hear the difference? You can't take away our smog-producing, tyre-screeching, fuel-guzzling, carbon monoxide spreading Hot Wheels. It's a way of life, baby! That was the real sound of a Tesla starting up.
That was pretty funny. Yeah. But now we go to the jury to find out who won the big debate. Courtney, you can go first. Who won? Was it me or Liam?
Well, you both did put up some good points. Some were a little tricky to follow, but Ben, you still have my vote. You're right.
Yeah.
After fossil fuels and everything, let's just charge it up. Then I can go to my parents' house and charge it, use up their electricity, so I get free fuel.
Yeah.
Courtney, don't you think? I mean, this is not a popular opinion. Greta Thunberg's not going to like this, but isn't the ozone already too far gone? Shouldn't we just do some burnouts while we can and enjoy it? Don't you think?
Thank you very much, Courtney. Helen, who won the big debate?
Liam, you win. And there's a main reason why. And one thing that you forgot to mention was distance. When I travel, I quite often I'll go to all the country areas.
Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to do that in an electric car? Who's got time to wait? You get out, you get that ice cream, you fill it up, and you're gone.
Wow. You can be in and out by the time you say Maxibon and an iced coffee at a petrol station. Antonio, the most diverse character. I was going to say divisive character we have on the show.
Liam always gets nervous when he speaks to Antonio.
Yeah, I know, because he bullies me a little bit.
Ben and Liam, I have to say, boys, you've done it again. Very topical.
Yeah. Well, we try and hit the
talking point.
I have to say, Ben, you did go a little wayward when you started making up facts about Elon Musk. I do think I was a bit offended when you talked about cargo shorts, because I've got a couple of different pairs and I do like cargo shorts.
Antonio, I was saying they were cool. I was like, there's nothing cool.
Yeah, but you were being sarcastic, mate.
Yeah, I was.
And and electric toothbrushes. Anyone who doesn't have an electric toothbrush is a pig.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am there with you, Liam. I have to say, mate. Look, there was a time when I really hated you and wondered how you had a job on the radio. But today, you have just really brought it. I mean, Fast and the Furious is a great example. Vin Diesel, the greatest actor of our generation.
Yeah.
And actually, Ben, I think the sound of the electric car is the same feeling I have towards your debate. Do you have that thing?
Dave!
That was a big debate. We now have the winner.
And scientists have figured out what we see just before we die. So doctors, right, were doing a brain scan on this 87-year-old man. And while he was getting the brain scan, he had a heart attack and he died. So obviously very sad, but it gave us the first ever recording of a brain going from alive to dead.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so they said in the 30 seconds either side of the patient's final heartbeat, there was a massive increase in a very specific brainwave. So the brainwave is called gamma oscillations.
I know exactly what
they are. What are they?
Well, I mean, I could explain, but it's,
Okay,
I
I'll
don't
do
have
it.
enough time.
So gamma oscillations are memory.
Right, so when people say your life flashes before your eyes,
It
it's actually
literally
what happens.
flashed before this old
It's like
man's
the
eyes.
most wild slideshow ever.
They reckon it's kind of like, you know, if you've got an iPhone where it goes like, we've got a memory thing for you, and like a cheesy song plays over it. Essentially, it's that.
Do you know, one of them came up on, I think it was day 8 of my COVID isolation, and I cried whilst watching it. I think I was just in a bit of an emotional, it was just like a nice da-ding,
Yeah,
song, and there was a few
yeah.
photos of you and me in there as well, and I was just like, I miss my friends. Just cried. But yeah, I mean, imagine if that was like your whole life in one of those iPhone videos playing in your head.
13-24-10, have you died? Because it happens.
Do we need to bring a Ouija board in for this one, or do we just want to do the phones?
Have you died?
Let's get it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting.
David joins us now. What happened?
2016, I got hit by a car while riding my bike, head on, the car at 80 kilometres an hour.
Oh, my God.
And after almost an hour being pinned under the front wheel of the car, I was taken to hospital where I spent the next 4 months, mostly in rehab from the physical injuries. But I was induced into a coma for the first couple of days to try and look after all the internal bleeding, etc., and the brain going into being in a head injury. And I remember a lot of that. Obviously, at that time I was just in a coma, but I ended up having surgery because I broke a vertebrae in my neck. And during that surgery, I passed away.
Oh.
And waking up out of the surgery the following day, all I can remember is what I saw as a group of about 3 or 4 men trying to take me somewhere, not knowing where, almost like a dream. You know, when you have a dream and you can't remember it clearly the next day, so it was almost like that. But I've been told that when I came out awake, I was in like fits and hysterical and ringing my wife and just jumbling about things that didn't make sense.
Wow.
Until I made sense of it later, and it's now almost as clear as day what it was, which was, that I was being taken somewhere.
When you're in the coma as well, because you said you remember that, do you remember being in the coma?
Yeah. It's like you're physically not there, but you're mentally there. So you're lying there, and
what's
it's
going on. So could you hear people talking around you?
absolutely. Yep. And you're lying there, and in your head you're going, grab that person's arm or touch them, and you physically just can't. It's like your body's dead, but your brain's not. Your brain's still going, and you can hear them, and you know what they're talking about. That was quite. Yeah, my memories of that was quite clear.
David, this is an incredible call.
If you ever need help, reach out to Lifeline 13 11 14. But David, thank you so much for sharing your story on Nova. Liam, my wedding is only 2 months away now, getting very close.
Well, yeah, specifically 69 days
How do you keep track of the days so much?
Well, I have a little counter on the side of my bed. I'm the better
Right.
man in Ben's wedding, and every morning I tear a paper off, and I just remembered that one today because it's a funny number.
Well, look, a massive part of the wedding is, of course, the wedding dress, which I haven't seen yet. But there are lots of fittings involved. I believe there's 4 or 5 fittings. in total.
Really?
Yeah. My partner Sam, she went in for fitting number 3 over the weekend. And when she got home, she just seemed a bit flat. And I said, what's wrong? And she said, she called me fat. And I said, what do you mean? What do you mean she called you fat? Like, she wouldn't have said you were fat. And she said, as soon as I walked in, she said, you've put on weight, haven't you?
No, she didn't.
And she did.
No way.
Yes, she did. They're brutal. They're like cutthroat.
There's no way.
They're cutthroat.
She didn't.
Because I think all of her work is undone if it can't fit. So
Oh my
she was
God, are you
like,
for real?
Yeah, she's like, you put on weight. And then, to be fair, my partner Sam, like, not overweight whatsoever.
Yeah.
But she has to now lose 2 kilos, that's what she reckons, to fit
Are you
into the
serious?
wedding dress. Yeah, 2 kilos.
I thought it would have been one of those classic scenarios where
Yeah.
she said
something else.
They've called me fat, and that's not what happened at
Yeah,
all.
no,
They just-
she called her fat.
They just went, oh, that dress looks great in you.
Yeah.
But it was the tone that she said it that made me, you
Yeah,
know what
no.
I mean? But no, she's
No,
actually
by the sounds
said,
of it, she went, whoa, big fatty.
oh, boom, 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 here you go. Like, yeah, dearie me. I mean, I get that they obviously have to
Get
'cause
you
it's-
into the dress.
Well, they got to be talking about things legitimately because they're trying to get the sizing right.
Yeah,
But
well, I believe-
surely there's a better way you can handle that.
I believe they were up to the stage where they were sewing the buttons on. So she said, I can put the buttons like wider, or if you want me to put them here where they're going to be, you're going to have to lose 2 kilos, which is just brutal.
That is, blows my mind.
But what I'd like to do, because it happens, how did they tell you you'd put on weight?
It doesn't have to be like a wedding dressmaker. It's
It
just
could
like-
be anything.
Could be a partner, I suppose, or
In my head, the perfect call for this is like a boyfriend or a husband that bought like a shirt that was too big. 13 24 10. Give us a buzz. Nadia joins us now.
Hey, how you going?
Very good, thank you. How did they tell you?
Well, my mum, bless her, didn't necessarily tell me that I put on weight. She said to me, so, Nad, how fat do you think you need to get before you're happy?
What? What is that backwards sort of
Yeah,
curly psychological?
Yeah.
Oh, I
What do you
reckon my
say?
soul would shatter into a million pieces if my mum said that to
Nadia,
me.
obviously everyone's relationship's different with their mum. Is that pretty normal between you and your mum?
Oh, look, mum's pretty solid. I love her to death. That's just, how she comes across sometimes. But anyway, it turns out it was about 30 more kilos.
Okay, so you found it.
Yeah, Nadia.
Sam, how did they tell you you'd put on weight?
I hadn't seen my dad for about 18 months, and he told me I had inherited his trunk tree legs.
Oh, God.
Trunk tree
Isn't that
legs.
terrible?
No.
I know, I was gobsmacked.
Especially he, being a dad, he would probably think that's a cool thing. He'd be like, nah, my legs back in the day, yeah, tree trunk legs out in the footy oval. Oh, legs like traction engines, could kick it more than 50.
Thanks for that, Sam. Nara, how did they tell you?
So I walked into a music practice, and I hadn't been there for a while, so the band was all up on stage, and a lady who was the singer had a microphone in her hand. And the first thing she said as I walked in was, "You've put on weight."
Into the microphone?
Into the microphone, the whole band turned to look at me and check me out, and I didn't know whether to laugh or cry.
At least someone didn't start playing the tuba.
Yeah.
As you were walking down. Thanks for that, Nara.
And that's the end of the Recap All Around Australia podcast. We've mentioned a couple of times today, I suppose we're feeling a little tired. Because we record all these, like the ins and outs of these podcasts on the same day, but we have promised a big out to the Friday Extended Cut, which would have been...
But this is also so confusing because this is the Sunday
That comes
pod.
2 days ago. I wish I didn't get into it.
Yeah, so because
I regret it.
This is us talking about this on a Sunday.
People are like, yeah, we heard that
2
yesterday.
days ago.
Yeah,
You sounded pretty
I don't
good.
know. It's all over the shop. It's like
Yeah.
that film Inception.
Yeah.
Call me dumb, but I don't really get it.
Yeah. Inception?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's a dream within a dream.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like you sort of get lost after a while. You're like, well, what's happening? Like,
Yeah, like if you're an idiot.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you
Fight-
dream within
Fight-
dreams.
Fight-
They're having a
Fight Club
dream
as well.
They're having a dream, and they're able to go into your dreams.
Yeah.
And then within your dream, you can go into another dream. You can be dreaming within your
It's just
dream.
like ridiculous, isn't it?
And then no one has ever gone 4 dreams deep before.
See,
but DiCaprio goes 5 dreams deep.
It's nuts.
That's how deep he is.
Is that when he's in the snow with the gun?
Yeah, that's before they go to the next level. And the next level before... And then the last level is in the house. And that's where his wife is.
Forgot that bit.
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Remember, it's like you
I'm
don't-
more of a Happy
remember,
Gilmore type.
It's like
you know what I
don't
mean?
go to level 5 or 1 or whatever.
Oh,
There's
he's in the,
and then he go, and then she goes down there.
Isn't
and-
that though when he's on the beach?
No, that's at the end. That's the very end. But
that
the
level-
last,
is that
the
level
last
7?
dream level is it's this memory that he keeps having.
Right.
And this woman goes down there because she wants to see what's on the level 5 or 1
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
And then DiCaprio, and then his ex-wife tries to kill him.
Oh,
tries to kill her, sorry. And then DiCaprio's like, "Why'd you come in here?" He stops her.
Stop that. What are you doing? Stop killing my wife.
But he keeps going back into his dreams to see her because he misses her.
Oh, of course. You know what else? What's that one that came out more recently? I think it's Denzel Washington's son's in it.
Haven't seen that.
Oh, it honks. It's called. It's like they tried to do Inception.
Honky Denzel.
They tried to do. I gotta look it up now. Gotta look it up. Denzel Washington's son
movie.
Okay, Malcolm Washington.
Interesting name.
Oh no, sorry, it's John. It's 2 kids.
Oh, okay.
Tenet.
He called one John.
Tenet.
I never watched Tenet. Is that the one where it's played backwards?
So weird. It's like everything else is backwards, but they're like going forwards.
Oh,
It's just like it's so
yeah,
strange.
right,
Like,
yeah.
and there's
I
like
get that.
Oh, yeah, you're so smart, aren't you? You're so bloody smart. You watched Tenet and you tell me that you understood it and you thought it was a good movie,
I thought
and
Tenet
I
would
would
just
say
be
you're a
about
genius.
like a bad tenant, like a rental property. And
Yeah.
it's a bad tenant.
No, it's not Tenant. It's Tenet.
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 All right, podcast.
I think we're at that stage. We're just going to keep saying Tenet if we don't end it now.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.